Berry. Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. 23rd ranked Missouri plays its conference opener tonight at Faurot Field in Columbia against, as Matt Berry just said, the other team from Columbia, South Carolina, the Gamecocks, looking to avoid an 0-2 start in SEC play. Missouri has won 13 straight at home. This is the fourth of 6 games in a row in this stadium to begin the year. And Skycam welcomes you to the booth. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor down on the field. Well, South Carolina, after an embarrassing home loss to Vanderbilt last week, fell all the way from number 11 out of the top 25. They lost their quarterback in that game, Lenore Sellers, but he's back tonight. And a lot of people think he could be the first quarterback taken in the NFL draft. So sets of eyes, not just in college football, on Lenore Sellers to see how he will respond tonight.
Huge to have one of the most dynamic playmakers at quarterback in the country back tonight for his team. They weren't the same team last week against Vanderbilt when he went out. The size is imposing, so tough to tackle, and he's got a great arm and a complement of receivers outside. He was at his best against Missouri last year. They'll need him at his best here tonight on the road.
Had 5 touchdown passes in that win in Columbia, South Carolina, against the Tigers. As for Mizzou, they have an unknown player that's starting to get headlines because of what he's doing as a runner, and that's Ahmad Hardy, who's second in the country in rushing through 3 weeks.
Well, if you don't know, you need to know. Ahmad Hardy is the best in the country at making tacklers miss. Leads the country in forced missed tackles. He's perfect for this scheme, this outside zone running scheme. They added him from Louisiana Monroe. He's got power, he's got vision, and he has been excellent for this offense so far this season.
And when we come back, more on Lenore Sellers, who gets the start tonight against Missouri as we close in on kickoff in Columbia.
Welcome back to Columbia, Missouri, as South Carolina travels to take on Mizzou. The biggest storyline in this game has been the status and health of South Carolina quarterback Lenore Sellers after he exited last week's game with a concussion. Well, head coach Shane Beamer told me he is 100%. There will be no limitations on their quarterback here today. In fact, Lenore himself did not believe he actually had a concussion a week ago. Sunday morning, he woke up. There were no symptoms. On Tuesday and Wednesday, he was able to go through non-contact drills through practice. On Thursday, he was cleared by medical staff, and on Friday, he was back practicing. Now here he is today, ready to get a win and help his team get back on track, Dave Pash.
And when he's been healthy this year, the numbers haven't been great, but that's on the offensive line and run game as well. They are last in the SEC in a lot of offensive categories. Taking it out of the end zone is Nick Harbor. Very dangerous. He's got track speed, but he's brought down at the 25-yard line by McClellan. So Sellers, third-team All-SEC last year, National Freshman of the Year, preseason first-team SEC this year. In the win at home against Missouri in 2024, he threw 5 touchdown passes and had the game winner with 15 seconds left as they almost blew a 15-point lead in that game. South Carolina won 9 games last year. A lot of people thought they'd be in the playoff picture, and they were preseason based on their ranking, but fell all the way out from number 11, unranked this week. And Sellers setting up a screen to Faison on first down. And Faison gets the first down past the 35-yard line.
Last week, the opening drive went perfectly to script for the offensive coordinator, Mike Shula. Smart opening play, get the ball out, nice, easy screen, good, easy completion to get Lenora Sellers into a flow early and get that confidence high.
Before the injury last week, he had just 1 incompletion. That was an interception. They were only down 7 in that loss to Vanderbilt, but then got blown out in the second half when he was unavailable. Here comes a pitch on the end around to Rowe, and he is met and dropped at the 35. What a stick that time by Marvin Burks Jr.
But Marvin Burks Jr. was not fooled whatsoever. Diagnoses this perfectly, and he's going to come downhill and make this play on the athletic and talented freshman Brian Rowe.
No gain on the play. Trying to get creative with the run game because overall they are 117th in the country in rushing. Another quick throw out in the flat, and not much for Jacobs. Maybe lost a half yard on the play. Gang tackle led by Jalen Catalon, a captain on this team in his 7th season.
Missouri defense swarming to the football, and there's been few in the country better on third down. They love to go man-to-man outside, get physical with wide receivers in these third down situations.
They rush 3 after Sellers. He steps up, gets hit as he throws deep downfield, and Rowe trying to make the juggling catch, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Toriano Pride, a Clemson transfer in coverage.
Nice job by Brian Rowe tracking that football, unable to get a foot in bounds, and it's a quick stop for this Missouri defense. Just so tough to deal with on third down. No one open for Sellers to go with the football. He took a shot down the field, but it comes up short. Eli
Drinkwitz done a tremendous job for Missouri in his 6th year. Back-to-back 10-plus win seasons for the first time since 2013-2014. They've never had 3 in a row, 10 wins or more. Off the side of the foot of the punter, but it takes a huge bounce for the Gamecocks inside the 15. And we'll come to a stop at the 9-yard line. Bo Pribula, a Penn State transfer, spent 3 years with the Nittany Lions, was battling Sam Horn in camp for the starting job. Horn won the job but got hurt early in the season opener, and he's out for the year. So it's Pribula's job. He entered the portal in mid-December and committed to Missouri, a couple of weeks shy of Penn State's loss in the college football playoff semifinals.
Playing with so much confidence now that he's become the starter. Been really impressed with his athleticism and his ability to anticipate and throw guys open and lead this offense.
He's got the talented back, Ahmad Hardy, who he highlighted in the open as the running back. And Hardy trying to find some room, knocked down at the 12-yard line by Monkel Goodwine, a pickup of 3.
Caden Green, the starting left tackle. I think he's their best offensive lineman. He is out for this game. Javen Richardson, 75, who was actually the starting left tackle in spring and in fall camp before they move some things around up front. He will get the start tonight. He'll be working on Brian Thomas Jr. for much of this game. But definitely noteworthy. New left tackle in for this Missouri offense.
Hardy again between the tackles and hit hard at the 18 by David Busey. Close to a first down, maybe 2 yards short.
The staple of this offense for Kirby Moore and head coach Eli Drinkwitz is that outside zone run. You see Jamal Roberts check in the game. Hardy's going to check out. Love to go to that. Double tight end set here in this game in this first third down.
And you mentioned Roberts. They really like him as well. Had a 63-yard touchdown run this season. And on third down, he drives the legs and picks up the first down. Nice toughness by Jamal Roberts, pushing the pile past the line to gain.
You hit on it perfectly, Dave. Pushing the pile, the leg turn. Not a whole lot there, but it's the offensive line off that right side, right behind Richardson, getting that start. Getting good movement. Nice job with the second effort there from Jamal Roberts.
Mentioned how unique the start of the season is for Missouri. 6 straight home games. They don't go on the road until October 18th at Auburn. (3-0), but the SEC opener today as Pribula looks for some running room. Puts his head down and dives to the 28-yard line. So a gain of about 5. The 6 straight home games to start of the year. That's the first time that's happened in the FBS since 1985.
Could not have set up more perfect for this Missouri football team, and the fan base is bought in. Another sellout here tonight. It's a blackout. This fan base is really bought in to what Eli Drinkwitz is building, and it gives them an opportunity with that schedule to really get off to an outstanding start here in 2025.
Jumped into the rankings for the first time. Beat Kansas a couple weeks ago. They'll keep it on the ground, and Hardy is bottled up this time. Nick Barrett on the hit, along with Jalen Kilgore, preseason second-team All-America safety.
Also Dylan Stewart in there, the preseason All-American defensive end. Really good job. We're going to watch this matchup. He's going to have all night with Keegan Trost, the right tackle. Few rush the passer better in all of college football than number 6 in white.
He's talked a lot, though, about being better against the run. He was on that last play.
Exactly right.
Pribula to the air on 3rd and short. Stewart forces him out of the pocket, and the pass is caught. And it's going to be a first down, pulled in by Marquise Johnson. Already 10 catches for him on the year.
You see the athleticism of Bo Pribula. Gets outside the pocket. Going to be an inside move. They're going to flush him out to his right. He's going to continue to move, keep his eyes down the field. And it's Johnson who comes open, and a great find.
Pribula throwing again. Long pass, caught at about the 42-yard line. Again by Johnson, who's been a big target early on, but no one has been as favored as Kevin Coleman Jr. Haven't called his name just yet, but you'll see him move all over the field, and he's got 24 catches already from Pribula on the year. They'll run it. Roberts trying to find a cutback lane. And he's able again to muscle towards the marker. First down at the 45.
This drive is so indicative of the entire season offensively so far for Missouri. The time of possession that they've been able to have, getting themselves in the 3rd and 2nd down in short situations, very manageable, just methodically moving down the field here in the first time the offense has touched the ball.
Already 4.5-minute drive, play 9. Give the Hardy. And coming down the line is Brownlow Dindy to make the tackle. He lost his helmet a couple plays ago, had to go out for one, but back out there, he just lost it again. Figure out the chin strap there.
Gonna have to fix that lid, Pash. Get with the equipment folks and try to figure that out.
So 2nd down and 7. We're already at the midway point of the opening quarter here in Columbia, Missouri. Play action pass. Tribula lobbing it towards the sideline, and a nice job that time by Kilgore to shove the receiver out of bounds. Donovan Olubide. That's a legal play by the defender, and it's incomplete.
It's just smart, Dave. Use that out of bounds as an extra defender. As Olubide elevates, high points that football, Kilgore wisely just shoves him out of bounds without allowing him to get that foot down.
That's 3rd and 7 at the 48 of Mizzou. Play clock down to 2. Tribula to the air. Pressure up the middle, throwing off his back foot. Knocked down, incomplete. Brandon Cisse breaking up the pass intended for Lloyd, and it's 4th down for Missouri.
Well, Cisse is all over Xavier Lloyd. Really physical off the line of scrimmage. And at the top of his route, gets that right hand out in there. Gets the pass breakup. An outstanding job on 3rd down by Brandon Cisse.
They waste about a 5.5-minute drive. They don't even cross midfield despite running 11 plays on that drive. So Kilgore is deep. The other punt returner, Bakari Swain, has 3 returns for touchdowns, but would imagine they're confident in Kilgore just securing it. Although that time it was over his head and into the end zone for a touchback. The first punt on the opening drive for Missouri this season. Lenore Sellers, a 3-and-out for South Carolina on its first drive, and he's back to work when we return to Columbia. Cena back in the spotlight tonight. Awesome stuff. South Carolina, a penalty marker due to a false start. They got a first down on their first play and then went 3 and out after that on their initial drive.
False start, offense number 50. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Checking with Taylor.
Well, Dave, right tackle Payson Henry for South Carolina is on the sideline being evaluated for a left shoulder injury, the same shoulder injury that sidelined him in the second half of last week's game. So Tree Bablade in his place.
And the offensive line that time got blown up at the point of attack. A loss of 1 on the play with Zion Young in there on the hit. There's Babalade, the 6'5", 330 redshirt sophomore that Taylor mentioned, now in their right tackle.
They're already starting Nolan Hayne for the first time at center. Boaz Stanley is playing right guard. A different looking offensive line in here early for South Carolina.
Empty set on 2nd and 17. 4-man rush. Sellers in the pocket, stepping up and throws a incomplete pass, but a flag comes down. That should have been picked off by Norwood. There's a penalty flag at the 27. Nick Harbor, the intended wideout. That might have been returned for a pick.
Defense number 12. 10-yard penalty.
That's how he got
it. An automatic first down.
Well, that's how Norwood got so open that time. He held his man.
Well, he's going to use his right hand. You're going to see him get the hook on the back of Harbor, then work his way all the way back around in front of that pass. Does not get past the official as it draws the flag for holding.
And instead of 3rd and 17, now you get the automatic first down with a defensive hold.
I want to see them run Lenora Sellers. Design quarterback run. I want to see him impact this game with his legs.
Sellers. Wide open down the seam. First down grab for Jordan Dingle, the tight end, to the 44-yard line for a 20-yard gain.
Well, this is excellent play action. They're going to sneak Dingle out from the tight end spot. Nobody identifies him. That play action brings the linebackers up, wide open down the field, and a nice find for Sellers.
4th catch of the year for Dingle, the Kentucky transfer. And the Gamecocks run it. Matt Fuller, just his 6th carry all season. Rotating backs right now, seeing if they can get anybody hot to take some of the pressure off Lenora Sellers, who has not had a design run yet. But the coaches told us, despite the injury last week, they will run Sellers in this game.
And Mike Shula told us he likes when design quarterback runs are called. Yet we have not seen one here in these first 2 drives as of yet.
Dropping back as Sellers was trying to set up the screen. It was well covered, so he gets outside the tackle box and throws it away. Josiah Trotter with pressure.
He's such a good blitzer, timely. Watch him navigate. He's going to start here, and he's going to find his way in. They thought there was an advantage on the interior of this offensive line that they could come after. Nice timely blitz by Trotter, forcing Sellers outside the pocket and just get the ball out of his hand. And they'll come after him here. They're so good on 3rd down. They'll go man. They'll bring pressure. Watch 19, Darius Smith. 5, Khalil Jacobs. They love their speed and athleticism and the opportunity to bring them in these spots.
And both those guys are hovering around the ball, and here they come. The blitz is picked up, and Sellers' pass is off target, incomplete. But a late flag is thrown. Stephen Hall was in coverage for Missouri. Shane Beamer, 5th year as the South Carolina head coach.
Pass interference. 0 on the defense. Only replace the ball on the foul. And he pulls an automatic first down.
Well, it didn't need to happen from Hall. He's going to get a little handsy. He's going to get that right hand around the freshman row. I mean, you grab around the waist like that, it's going to draw a flag. Well defended. You saw 6, Jalen Catalon come down from the safety spot, but
that's 2 defensive penalties, Dusty, on this drive, directly leading to South Carolina first downs. Ball on the Tiger 41. Sellers again off play action, in trouble, gets outside the pocket and spun down for a sack at the 44. Nicholas Rodriguez gets to him. The initial pressure was by Young.
Young's going to come up here, but this play is going to get made by 20 Rodriguez, who does an excellent job chasing and getting to the perimeter. He's spying Lenore Sellers. He's sitting there waiting for him to make a move. When he breaks out, Rodriguez matches him. Nice play in space.
Faison. Jump cut in the hole, but wrapped up and brought down. That was Trotter in there to make the tackle, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
He's coming downhill. Josiah Trotter, the redshirt sophomore. They got him from West Virginia. He's a freshman All-American, Big 12 newcomer of the year. And his presence has been felt early in the season for this Missouri defense. And on 3rd down now, Jacobs checks in as Trotter checks off.
Sellers airing it out, and oh my goodness, the receiver's wide open, but unable to catch up to it is Mazeo Bennett. Lenore Sellers wishes he had about a half-second more before that pressure came, because Bennett had a walk-in score.
He did have a walk-in score, and it's a blown coverage. You're going to see him work this deep over route, and the safeties, everybody's going to roll this way as Lenore Sellers rolls this way. Eyes are on the quarterback. No one identifies Mazeo Bennett, and he's wide open. He's unable to convert down the field to his open wide receiver.
Still catchable. You saw it go through the hands of Bennett as this punt is down at the 1-yard line. Mason Love, who's one of the top punters in the country, pins Missouri deep in its own end.
ESPN College Football is presented by Experian, your big financial friend, a BFF for life. When you're tackling life's big financial moments, it's good to have a big financial friend on your team. Ready to take control of your finances? Download the Experian app now.
And another Saturday night edition of Dusty's Defensive Dudes.
Well, there's some dudes in this game. They've already made their presence felt. Let's start with Missouri and Josiah Trotter. Instinctive, smart, physical, and plays with great passion. And on the other side for South Carolina, one of the elite pass rushers. He's long, he's bendy, and he's been working on stopping the run, but few can do it better in college football than Dylan Stewart. They'll need him to step up here with Missouri backed up against their own goal line.
Got 2 sacks on the year. Missouri does have 2 99-yard scoring drives already this season. And they're going to run it, and stretching the ball out and getting it out of the end zone is Roberts, as Brownlow Dindy had him in the end zone but could not wrap up. Kilgore eventually got him down.
Nice penetration by Brownlow Dindy. I love the nickel Kilgore coming downhill with physicality.
Going to stick with Roberts as the back. Perdula out of the gun. They got 2 men over there to block Dylan Stewart on the right side of that Missouri offensive line. Perdula to the sideline, caught by Johnson and pushed back at about the 8-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to bring up 3rd down for Mizzou.
We haven't heard the name of Kevin Coleman called yet in this ball game, but there's not many that are gone to more frequently in college football on 3rd down than number 3 Kevin Coleman. He started to check in the game. Now he's going to check out. Surprised to not see him on the field here in the 3rd down situation, Dave. Clearly, they're looking to run the football, keep big package in, multiple tight ends in this ball game.
South Carolina stacking the box. Perdula to throw. Steps up in the pocket and takes off for the 1st down. Perdula past the 20 and eventually stopped at the 23. Tripped up by Swain. There is a flag down at the 20-yard line.
Holding defense number 15. A 10-yard penalty will be enforced into the run. Automatic 1st down.
Well, this is really good by Bo Perdula. His initial target, Brett Norfleet, is covered. Nothing's there. He's got pressure at his face. Uses that athleticism to move the chains. Another 3rd down conversion for this offense.
As Perdula backed up Drew Aller at Penn State, but he did play in an important comeback win against Wisconsin when Aller got hurt. Played in 24 games, so does have a lot of experience. This is new, playing in the SEC at night for the 1st time. Play action, and now here's Coleman on the end around. Read well by Swain, and Coleman stepped out at about the 36-yard line, a pickup of 3.
Well, he is explosive, so tough to tackle in open space. And they lost Luther Burden a season ago, goes off to the NFL, and they find Kevin Coleman Jr. at Mississippi State. He's from St. Louis. He wanted to come back home. He's rocking that same number 3, and he's had a very similar impact for this offense here early in the season.
But as you noted, he's not been out there a ton on offense here in the 1st half. Oh, huge hit, but bouncing off it is Hardy, and there he goes. Nobody forces more missed tackles than Ahmad Hardy this season. All the way down to the 37-yard line, 26-yard pickup.
Well, Sean Murphy's going to come downhill and watch the pad level of Ahmad Hardy. He's going to get low, lower the shoulder, shrug off that attempted tackle, and then find open space. Outstanding contact balance on that 1st down run.
And Hardy's already over 500 rushing yards on the season. This is game number 4. Play fake. Perdula throws deep. Oh, what a catch by Norfleet inside the 15-yard line.
The catch radius supreme here for Brett Norfleet. I love the placement by Perdula. Put it high away where your big tight end can elevate, extend, and complete that catch. Brett Norfleet, I think, is one of the best tight ends in the SEC with what he does, blocking in the zone scheme, and you see the catch radius and the ability to go up and make dynamic plays like that.
And he's healthy. Last year played hurt for most of the season. Final minute of the opening quarter. And a pitch to Hardy off the left edge. And Dylan Stewart coming down the line to make the tackle. And Stewart, a little banged up, slow to get up. Remember, he was ejected at the end of that Vanderbilt game last week for a shove. Appears to be okay. Going to stay on the field.
Going to be backside chase player on this toss. That's really, I think Missouri wants to run at him, Dave. They want to bring the action to him, make him try to showcase some physicality, mention his length, his ability to bend. He's trying to work to be better at the point of attack. That time, great as the chase player.
And that's the end of the first quarter. No score after one in Columbia. Back in Columbia moments ago, South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer and talking with Taylor McGregor with a shout out to a former Gamecock quarterback.
Connor Shaw, I know you're watching back in South Carolina. I know you went home today. We love you, brother, and we're thinking of you, my man. God bless.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
And that's great news. Shane breaking some news with Connor Shaw collapsing earlier this week while he was coaching his son's flag football team. Was listed in stable condition, but as Shane just reported, he is now home. Great news. And here is Coleman. They finally get it to him on a pass play, and he's inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. This will bring up 3rd down and 6.
We've talked about how good this 3rd down offense has been all year, and good once again tonight. 3 of 4 on 3rd down. Kevin Coleman, guy you've got to ID. Talking with defensive coordinator Clayton White. Got to know where 3 is at all times.
And he is in the backfield. Prabula sidearms it, and it's caught for a touchdown by Manning. Prabula's 8th touchdown pass against just 1 pick, and Manning's first touchdown of the season. And that's the third 99-yard scoring drive already this season for the Tigers. Robert Meyer, true freshman kicker, replacing the injured Blake Craig, who was their place kicker at the start of the year. And that hits the right upright, and it's no good.
Well, Peyton Williams was a little confused. He didn't know exactly where to go. You see his hands up right here, and he's not going to locate Manning until late. He takes 1 step outside, doesn't locate Joshua Manning, but Bo Prabula locates him. The Tigers on top early here in Como.
Back at Faurot, the Taco Bell Live Ma student section with Missouri up 6-0. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Ma student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this season? On one hop, the ball picked up at the 10-yard line by Rowe. And he's out across the 30-yard line to about the 33. Let's see if South Carolina's offense can finally get on track when we come back. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor back in Columbia, Missouri. It's 6-0 Tigers. They missed an extra point, their second missed PAT of the season. See if South Carolina can get something going on the ground to help out their quarterback, Lenore Sellers. -2 rushing yards. His only carry was officially a carry because he got sacked. He was back to pass and had to leave the pocket. But no design run calls yet for Sellers. Ran it 155 times last year, just 25 through 3 games this season. Dumps it off here to Brian Rode Jr. out in space, and he scoots out a play for a gain of 11 and a first down.
Well, boot action, they work, roll back across the formation. Athletic play by him, reaching behind him, grabbing that ball with one hand, and then showcasing some of that speed and getting nice yards after the catch for a nice play on first down.
Fuller and Attaway are the 2 backs, and it'll be Fuller off the left edge. He bounces off the turf out near the 49-yard line, gain of 5. And the helmet came off of Nolan Hay, the center. He had not been starting until tonight, so let's see if they go back to Boaz Stanley, who moved from center to right guard. Rodney Newsom is checked into the game. And actually, he's going to be the one snapping the ball. They've had all kinds of issues with snaps to Sellers out of the gun this season. And a timeout. That will allow them to get Hay back on the field.
South Carolina, they're first in the half.
So 2 timeouts remaining for South Carolina early here in the second quarter. 2 really good wins for OU now this year.
10 sacks on the day for that Oklahoma defense. Great showing from Auburn, really pushing Oklahoma to the end, but you're exactly right, my friend. 2 very good wins for Oklahoma. Michigan, now today Auburn. They're at the Palace on the Prairie.
South Carolina's in midfield, trailing 6-0 early second quarter. Give to Attaway. He's got room and a first down. Best run play yet for the Gamecocks.
Back-to-back good run plays. We're getting some movement off the edges. It was the left side the first time, at the right side here now. Good job caving everything in from the outside, and quality running for a first down.
Attaway, a 7th-year player. Faison, also a 7th-year running back for South Carolina. From the Mizzou 45, Sellers. There's a penalty marker down pre-snap.
Ball start on the offense. Not all 11 players will set for a full second. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So it'll back up South Carolina to the 50 again. Well, Dusty, watched tape on Lenore Sellers for the last year and a half. When you watch last year compared to this year, what's different?
They're not running him as much this year, and they're not running him at all here in this game. I just think it's been a slow start so far. He's, working in some new offensive linemen, some new players outside at wide receiver and tight end, still waiting to really get into a rhythm and find his groove.
Had a miss on a deep ball earlier that would have been a touchdown. Attaway can't get the edge. Cut down beautifully by Josiah Trotter, whose dad, Jeremiah, 4-time Pro Bowl linebacker.
And you see the exact same celebration that Pops used to have back in the day. Watch the instincts. Downhill, plays off the block of Dingle, scrapes down the line of scrimmage, and a nice tackle of Attaway. Josiah Trotter, he's going to make a name very quickly for himself here in the SEC. Transfer from West Virginia, where he was a terrific player, was hurt 2 years ago, didn't play. Now his first year here in Como. Sellers has room, but the hole closed quickly, so he just gets out of bounds for minimal gain, if any. Nice job, Tristan Newsom. You see there in defense, also Toriano Pride Jr. rallying to the football the moment Lenore Sellers broke the pocket. They were on him almost immediately. Crowd's been great here on 3rd down. Now the pass rush package in. Watch 19 off the edge. Darius Smith. And a flag down, might be a free play for Sellers. He'll take a shot, and it's pulled in, and it's a touchdown. What a throw by Sellers to Jacobs. A 49-yard perfect pass from Lenore Sellers. You can't throw it any better than this. Lenore Sellers from the pocket. He's got time, steps into this, a nice confident throw, plenty of air underneath the football, and just drops it in perfectly. A dime delivered to Jacobs. Wow. Big time throw. And a pass that ties this game up at 6 with the extra point pending. Also smart, too, recognizing the offside. Take your shots, exactly right. And we mentioned at the top of the telecast, Pete Thamel had an article today on ESPN.com checking with 25 scouts, executives, and Sellers had the most votes, 8, to be the first quarterback taken in the 2025 draft. And obviously, NFL execs love to see what he just did. Plays like this are only going to help that. He wanted to show this season to be better from the pocket. You can't get any better from the pocket than that. Gamecocks are on top, and Sellers liking what he sees. So our stat monitors are down. Do we have a way? We have nothing up here. This is insane. So I have no telly. There's no telly. South Carolina with a 7-6 lead. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor here in Columbia.
Norris Sellers with his 3rd touchdown pass of the season and his 6th in the last 6 quarters against Missouri. And this kick goes out of bounds. Good starting field position for Missouri. Bad kickoff by Max Kelly.
Kick out of bounds, number 21. The receivers have elected to put on play at the 35-yard line. First down.
All right, time now for our drive recap presented by Geico.
The last touchdown drive by Missouri, the playmakers were making plays. Ahmad Hardy, we talked about his ability to break tackles. Watch him run through this tackle of Sean Murphy and find green grass. Brett Norfleet, the extension, bringing that pass in the sidelines. And Bo Pribula's been excellent all season, and a dart delivered for a touchdown in that last drive.
Pribula back to work, in trouble, flushed out of the pocket, steps up, and does a great job to get positive yardage because Brownlow Dindy has been in the backfield a handful of times already in this game.
He really has. He's been so disruptive. He gets pressure almost immediately right there in that B gap, working on the right guard, 73, Tristan Wilson. But once again, you see that athleticism. Pribula feels that pressure, slides to his left, and really makes it nice pickup when there was nothing there initially.
From York, Pennsylvania. Went to Penn State, transferred in the middle of December during the college football playoff run for the Nittany Lions. And a huge hole for Ahmad Hardy into South Carolina territory. Boy, did he turn on the Jets.
One thing I loved about talking with Ahmad Hardy earlier this week, he had 2 offers coming out. 2. Louisiana Monroe, South Alabama. And he said he's got a massive chip in his shoulder. And every time he takes the field, he's looking to prove that he belongs. He just continues to prove that he belongs at this level.
Has more yards after contact than South Carolina has rushing yards total on the year. Pribula. And diving to make the catch at the 42 is Johnson. A penalty flag is down. Missouri is pointing at South Carolina. It's offside on the Gamecocks. We'll see if that's accepted by Eli Drinkwitz.
Offside. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You know, it's really a testament to Eli Drinkwitz and his staff finding a lot of these players via the portal. It's Ahmad Hardy. We've seen Josiah Trotter. It's Kevin Coleman Jr. We asked him about their philosophy on that portal, and he said it's production over potential. They're looking for players that have produced already at whatever level they've been at, and it's been a great recipe here for this football team.
Now, Hardy was a freshman All-American last year, rushed for 1,351 yards at Louisiana Monroe. So they accept the penalty. 1st and 5. Pribula trying to get outside and throws it away at the last second before he gets hit low by Brandon Cisse. And Pribula is shaken up on the South Carolina sideline.
It's really good defense by South Carolina, continuing to force this play outside, but it's a smart heads-up play by Pribula. So many quarterbacks just take a sack in that spot. He's clearly outside the tackle box, gets rid of the ball, but something to keep an eye on. He took a shot in that left leg from Cisse.
He's going to stay in the game. The backup is a true freshman in Matt Zollers, who's thrown 5 passes all season. But Pribula going to tough it out, stay out there for 2nd and 5. 7-6 South Carolina. Missed extra point by Missouri, the difference in the game. Running Hardy to the right. He'll come up short of the line to gain. Pickup of about 2, 3rd down.
Once again, we see this 3rd and short situation for Missouri. It's like they live in this spot. Really do a nice job putting themselves in 3rd and manageable. They're a top 5 3rd down offense coming into this game. Kevin Coleman Jr. up in the slot.
An empty set here on 3rd down and 3 for Pribula. Missouri SEC opener. South Carolina playing its second SEC game. Pribula pitches, and what a catch by Marquise Johnson. Oh, he somersaults as he got tackled inside the 25. That ball was behind him, and he stabbed it with his right hand.
Well, it's a mesh concept, and Johnson comes open and just stabs this thing with his right hand and never breaks stride. Catches it, brings it in. And as you touched on, the athleticism, the acrobatic moves with the forward roll.
Had he scored, that would have been the play of the day in college football. Got 4 receptions already as Missouri's on the doorstep of the red zone. Play action, boot. Pribula looks for Norfleet, who's open. And he lowers the shoulder, gets into a shoving match with Peyton Williams out of bounds at the 15.
Dave, it's always fascinating to hear the conversations between the quarterback and the receivers. I was on the sideline, and Bo Pribula was talking to Marquise Johnson. It was almost like they were rehearsing that play here on the sideline before they went out there on the field.
I wonder if that is how they drew it up. No, of course not. But what a play by Johnson just to reach back and make that catch. And as you said, in full stride, kept going. An ankle tackle away from taking it all the way to the house.
To Pribula's credit, man, he's really built a nice chemistry with these wide receivers in a short amount of time.
Second and short. Give to Hardy. Patient, waiting for a hole to open. It's not there. It closed because of Sean Murphy. There is a penalty flag down. Going to be on South Carolina. Might have been a face mask there. You saw Hardy's helmet turn. And got an injured player as well on the field. And a Missouri player down in Brownlow, Dindy, for South Carolina.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 17. Half distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Justin Okoronkwo, the guilty man. Again, you got a South Carolina player down in Brownlow, Dindy, and it's Jordan Harris shaken up for Missouri. He's up, walking to his sideline, and will step away midway through the second quarter. We'll stay here again. All right, 7:18 to go. South Carolina leads by 1. The difference in the game, missed point after by Missouri. And Eli Drinkwitz told us yesterday all kinds of kicking issues. Blake Craig was their kicker, replacing the great Harrison Mevis, but he got injured in the opener, so they went to a true freshman in Robert Meyer. But on anything longer than the 38-yard field goal, they're going to go with Oliver Robbins, their kickoff man, and Meyer had enough trouble on the short one earlier, missing the point after. And could impact play calling too on 4th down in these situations here, and goal to go. And obviously late in the half and in games. Operate out of the pistol on 1st down and goal with Ahmad Hardy again behind Pribula. Hardy waiting for that hole, and he gets stacked up and pushed back at the 6. Just a 1-yard gain that time. Good job by Okoronkwo, sticking his face in there along with a couple of D linemen.
A nice job on the interior of that South Carolina front. Saw the patience once again from Hardy. He gave it time to see if something was going to open up, but no crack opens, and good job on 1st down by this Gamecock D. It's an area where Brett Norfleet, man, he is such a weapon at 6'6". Love to target him inside the red zone.
Pribula flushed out of the pocket, throws, and it's incomplete. He was going for Johnson again. David Busey in coverage. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from about the 6.
It would be so big if South Carolina could come up with a stop here. Ahmad Hardy not just doing it as a runner, also picking up this blitz off the edge, lowers the right shoulder, puts Swain on his backside. Talk about being a 3-down player, being able to impact the game in different ways off the ball. It's a nice job by Ahmad Hardy.
Play clock is down to 4. Pribula back in the end zone, incomplete. Missouri thought there should have been a pass interference call. Let's see. We mentioned the kicking woes, how this impacts Coach Drink's decision here. He'll send on the kicking team.
I think this is smart, just to try to take your points where you can get it. You heard the crowd. Jalen Kilgore, this is going to be a matchup to see on third downs all night. That right hand and the left hand get around the waist of Kevin Coleman Jr. We've seen that called already tonight multiple times. It does not draw the flag on third down. Eli Drinkwitz very frustrated with no penalty enforced on that play.
Wonder if the official thought it was uncatchable. Pass was high. So Meyer will try a 24-yarder. And Missouri back in front after the short field goal. 9-7 Tigers.
College Football Primetime, presented by Experian, is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
A muggy night in Columbia. Temperature around 80 degrees. Humidity about 60%. Some rain potentially in the forecast. You see all the construction work being done in the end zone to our left here in Columbia. Still very loud despite nobody in that section tonight. Touchback. Now a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
Lenora Sellers back to work after a beautiful touchdown pass in the last drive for the Gamecocks. South Carolina ranked 11th last week, got blown out at home by Vanderbilt, dropped all the way out of the top 25. Sellers to the air. Hit as he throws, and it should have been picked off. It was dropped at the 32-yard line by Rodriguez.
With zone coverage, Nicholas Rodriguez eyes on Lenora Sellers the entire way, and Lenora Sellers lucky on this one. he is not picked off. Pressure's going to come in his legs late, but he's standing there, likes what he sees, just never sees the underneath coverage from Nicholas Rodriguez.
Almost threw an interception in the first quarter, but there was a defensive holding call. Been fortunate twice. Now a run play, Faison knocked down after a 2-yard run. 3rd and long, tackled by Rodriguez.
I like the way 20 is out there playing. Nicholas Rodriguez downhill immediately, and a nice tackle right around the line of scrimmage. You can see a line change coming in on 3rd down. This crowd has been outstanding here in the first half, helping out this defense. Showing pressure with man-to-man coverage outside.
And a flag down, some movement on the offensive line.
62, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
And it's Nolan Hay, the center, who's making his first start at center here tonight. And he's got this crowd messing with them. Lenoris is coming up the line trying to check, and he just gets started too quickly. You touched on earlier, Dave, they had issues with Boaz, Stanley, bad snaps. They wanted to try Nolan Hay in there, and his crowd getting to the young center.
And 6 penalties already on South Carolina. With 5 minutes to play in the half. Sellers back to throw. Pressure in his face, and he's sacked by McClellan inside the 10.
Well, Chris McClellan's about to showcase some serious power. Just a bull rush on 50. Boaz Stanley walks him back to the quarterback, rips off late, and engulfs Lenore Sellers for a big sack on 3rd down.
McClellan transfer from Florida, 6'4", 330. And so South Carolina has to punt from its end zone. And some movement again by the Gamecocks. Penalty number 7.
False start. Offense number 87. 5 yards. 4th down.
It's on Brady Hunt, one of the tight ends.
See Shane Beamer trying to keep his team confident, trying to clap them up, but the frustration, it's got to be palpable down there. Just too many penalties. 7 penalties going on the road. You got to play clean, you got to play smart, and not shoot yourself in the foot.
Let's see if Missouri comes after this now. With Mason Love backed up, and they almost got it. Short punt nonetheless, and the fair catch made at the 46 by Kevin Coleman as we check in with Matt.
Lose it today and all this talk, it got me so jacked up. Better watch yourself, Pash. I may put you in a suplex, I don't know, maybe a chokehold.
Well, didn't you,
be careful.
After you were retired from the NFL, didn't you almost go into pro wrestling?
It was a conversation that was had, but I'd rather be hanging out with you up in the booth.
Well, not if you're going to pile drive me. Prabula throws a pass, and it's intercepted. Gerald Kilgore with the pick, just the 2nd of the year by Prabula.
Huge for this South Carolina defense. Exactly what Clayton White, the defensive coordinator, needed. The athleticism by Gerald Kilgore, just outstanding. Eyes on the quarterbacks, gets to his drop, feels that route coming across, and he sinks, opens his hips, climbs the ladder, and gets a much-needed South Carolina interception. Great athleticism, completing the process of that pick.
Well, last week when they got blown out in the second half by Vanderbilt, they had 3 turnovers. Here they take the ball away, the first turnover by either team tonight. And they got 3:46 on the clock, 2 timeouts, and the 2-minute official timeout to go the length of the field and try to get the lead before halftime. Faison running it on 1st down, no room whatsoever. And Trotter right into space, and there comes a flag. You can't do that. Josiah Trotter's got to know better. You can't stand over the guy you tackle and taunt him. You're asking for it. And going to have to learn the hard way.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 40, taunting an opponent. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Look, I love his passion. I love his energy. I love the way he plays the game of football, but you got to be smarter than this. You said it perfectly, Dave. You make a nice play like that, you can celebrate with your teammates. You can show that passion, but you can't stand over an offensive player and taunt him the way they try to do.
And meanwhile, Nolan Hay, who's starting at center tonight, is hurt for South Carolina. They will get the 15-yard penalty and have the ball at their 46-yard line, but they got to shuffle the deck again on that offensive line for Shane Beamer's team. Well, next weekend we got another great slate of college football. It starts on a Friday night, a top 10 team on the road. Florida State currently 7th in Charlottesville, and then Saturday an ABC triple header. Well, Arkansas losing to Memphis. Memphis might right now have the inside track. Obviously a ways to go is that non-power 4 school to make the playoff. LSU, Ole Miss, and Georgia Bama at night.
It don't get better than Georgia Bama at night. Last year's game was an all-time instant classic. Cannot wait for that one next week. But how about LSU Ole Miss? Anybody see what Trinidad Chambliss did today? We had him last week, and the former Division II Ferris State quarterback stepped in, was excellent a week ago in their victory over Arkansas. He was even better today in their blowout win against Tulane. That's just a situation to keep an eye on. There was a lot of fanfare about Austin Simmons coming into the season, but boy, Trinidad Chambliss has stepped up in a big way leading that team.
A lot of reasons to not like the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Trinidad Chambliss is a reason to like it. There are players, we saw it with Cam Ward last year, the #1 pick in the draft. Was it Incarnate Word, then Washington State? A lot of these guys don't get these opportunities as they age, you get bigger and stronger to play in a major conference. Chambliss is getting the chance now and making the most of it, and it's one of the best stories in the country. So Rodney Newsom is in to snap the ball. Sellers to throw, and that's a laser. First down grab at the 40-yard line by Jacobs, who caught the touchdown pass earlier.
I love the protection here for this offensive line of South Carolina. Nice clean pocket. Lenore Sellers going to stand strong and fire an absolute dart across the middle. Perfectly placed football from Sellers.
And they're inside the Missouri 40. 3-minute mark here in the second quarter. Sellers, pressure in his face. It's picked up nicely. Another strike. And a first down inside the 25-yard line again. It's Dre Jacobs, a gain of 16.
How about the 7th-year senior Faison? Watch him step up and take on this blitz from Nicholas Rodriguez. Steps right up in front. He allows the time. Sellers, he's cool, calm, collected, and finds his target.
On the rollout, Sellers throws it deep, and it's caught for a touchdown by Rowe. Second touchdown pass for Lenore Sellers. Lenore Sellers' best football this season has been played in the last 5 minutes. That drive took just over a minute. 4 plays, 70 yards, and South Carolina trying to add on one more to make it a 5-point game. First career touchdown for the true freshman Brian Rowe Jr. from Concord, North Carolina. Joyce with the point after.
Well, there's just confusion here on the back end of this defense, and it's a really, really good job with the route. Rowe's going to sell this, going to get his head outside, going to sell it out, and then he's going to get vertical, out and up. Watch Jalen Catalon. He's this over-the-top safety. He's looking at the inside receiver, Jacobs. He freezes. He thinks Norwood's going to continue to give ground. Norwood thinks the safety's got help over the top. Miscommunication and a wide-open Brian Rowe to give South Carolina yet another lead in this ball game. It's not just taking the ball away. What do you do with it after the takeaway? That was Lenore Sellers at his best on those 3 pass plays.
And it shows you also the belief they have in him. When he got hurt last week, it was totally deflated. They shut down, and Shane Beamer told us yesterday, I needed to do a better job in the locker room at halftime. We lost our leader, and we all felt it, and we never recovered. But you see tonight, get off to a slow start. It doesn't matter. they believe Lenore Sellers can get him in the end zone in a heartbeat.
When if you can give him some time, you see the confidence growing and growing with every throw.
Missouri will have 2.5 minutes, all their timeouts and the official stoppages well at 2 minutes. Here at the end of the second quarter, is checking with Taylor.
Dave Pash, before the game today, I was talking to Clayton White, defensive coordinator for South Carolina, and he was worried about the youth in the secondary. He wasn't exactly sure how they would handle this environment. Well, after that last play and the pickoff by Gerald Kilgore, he went over to the group and said, they're not showing us anything we haven't already seen on film. Keep doing what you're doing. We have this in the bag if we can keep playing like that.
And Coach White in his 5th year with South Carolina as the play caller on defense. They lost a lot on that side of the ball. Kyle Kennard, the Nagurski winner, and many others onto the NFL. Prabula off play action, and he throws it away. Interesting to see how Prabula responds after the pick on the last drive.
Dylan Stewart stays square. Does a really good job right there, step for step with Bo Prabula. Forces him outside and forces him to throw that ball away. You see the athleticism on display there from Dylan Stewart.
South Carolina hoping to get a stop and get the ball back with a ton of momentum to Sellers. Hardy, and he's pushed back after he got about 3 yards. Will South Carolina call a timeout before the 2-minute stoppage, or will they let it wind down here? They have 2 timeouts remaining.
I think South Carolina lets this wind down, Dave. I think they feel they're in a good spot here. Missouri not in a big hurry to get this snap off before the 2 minute.
Saw Shane Beamer there too saying think. They've already had some bad penalties on defense to keep drives alive for Missouri. They don't want to make that mistake here. 2-minute official timeout. Mendoza and Mateer, two of the top transfer quarterbacks in the country.
Kevin Coleman Jr., Mr. Third Down in these spots.
And there he is with the catch and a first down across the middle to the 40, a gain of 12 on third down.
Well, that time Kilgore gave some distance, he gave some cushion, and what they really liked was the physicality, no physicality, and Coleman wins on third down.
Missouri with all of its timeouts, they're going with some tempo. Pass is pulled in, what a catch. Marquise Johnson, another great grab. He had the one-handed catch earlier on a ball thrown behind him. That time he adjusts his body in midair.
What's a great adjustment, as you mentioned, as he climbs the ladder and goes up, a little bit of a push-off he got away with on that completion.
Prabula to the air again. And led the receiver out of bounds. Joshua Manning with Bakari Swain in coverage for South Carolina. 1:35 to go in the half.
Ball just sailed a little bit on Prabula. Unable to get that foot down as he goes up high and brings that ball in. Gather your breath here. Plenty of time, minute 35, 3 timeouts to orchestrate this drive for Prabula.
And all kinds of issues with the kicking game, which again could impact play calling here in the final 95 seconds. Already a missed extra point. They'll run it up the middle. Roberts is still going. He broke a handful of tackles till they finally get him to the ground 18 yards later.
Well, we've talked a lot about Ahmad Hardy. What about Jamal Roberts? Watch him stay low. His right knee almost touches the ground, but it never goes down. He never stops those legs from moving.
Snapping it quickly. Prabula throwing to the sideline. Manning turns after the grab, gets the first down, and it'll be first and goal for the Tigers.
That's good timing outside and poor tackling from Bakari Swain. Manning just running circles around the defender out there, getting nice yards after the catch.
And now got a timeout called by South Carolina, trying to settle down here in defense.
South Carolina.
1:07 remaining, and Marquise Johnson, who had 134 yards in the season opener, had under 40 yards the last 2 games, but he has gone off here tonight for Mizzou.
5 for 55 in this ball game, making the tough catches look easy out there here tonight under the lights at Faroe Stadium.
You mentioned losing Luther Burden, terrific player, but again, Eli Drinkwitz and his staff did a good job finding depth at a lot of positions on offense, including quarterback Bo Prabula, who was battling for the starting job with Sam Horn to replace the outstanding 3-year starter in Brady Cook. Horn wins the job but breaks his leg in the season opener. So it's Prabula now that's got the reins, and he's got Missouri in position to retake the lead here at the end of the half. Here's Hardy trying to get outside, can't. We'll see if South Carolina uses that last timeout to preserve some time maybe for the offense. Nope, going to let the clock move, and Missouri will not use a timeout either.
Smart. Run this clock down, try to milk it for everything it's got. You got 3 timeouts. Ideally, you'd like to score and leave as little time as possible for South Carolina on the opposite end.
9th play of the drive. Prabula throwing, it's caught, and it's inbounds, so let's see if a timeout is taken here by Missouri. Coleman on the catch at the 5, and that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. The clock will continue to run inside 30 seconds, and now it stops at, no, it's still going, down to 25. May have to put a couple seconds back on, because it looked like Missouri called timeout before then. See if they add a couple seconds to the clock. Now, Robert Meyer missed an extra point, and Kirby Moore, the outstanding offensive coordinator, his brother Kellen Moore is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I'm sure there's conversations going on between him and Eli Drinkwitz, Dusty, in this situation, discussing strategy when you're wondering if your true freshman kicker is 18 years old, has lost his confidence.
Well, we've seen them already one time from the 5, 4th and goal from the 5, elect to kick the field goal. sure they would love to go in with a lead. I got to imagine if they don't get much yardage, if it's 4th and goal from the 4, I think you probably take the points into halftime. If you get inside the 2, that might change the equation. I would imagine this play to be in the air. I'd be surprised if they don't try to target Northfleet or Kevin Coleman Jr. Typically, you see the ball go in their direction in these kind of spots.
That's Hardy in motion. Prabula fakes it to him. Now on the rollout, has to throw it away. Nice job by Jalen Kilgore, defending Kevin Coleman Jr. near the goal line to bring up 4th down. And here comes the field goal unit.
Well, you called it perfect, Dave. Jalen Kilgore was right there in the hip pocket. They wanted to go with Kevin Coleman Jr. working back across the formation. It's perfect defense and a smart play by Prabula to get rid of the football. And as we expected, field goal team trots out.
So Meyer missed the point after, made a 23-yarder, and this will be a 22-yard attempt. It's 3 for 5 on the season. And he knocks that one through. And so Missouri gets 3, but still trailing here with 17 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll kick off your NFL Sunday with a countdown crew. All the stories leading up to kick. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern, ESPN. Then Monday Night Football. This is a great game. The Lions and the Ravens. Joe and Troy on the call. And then on ESPN2, Peyton and Eli, SVP, and the gang starts it all off at 6 Eastern on ESPN.
NFL has been great here so far. A lot of scoring for both those teams. You out there with the Arizona Cardinals. What have you made of the early NFL season?
Well, you got the NFC West is 7-1 right now. The Detroit Lions, after losing week 1, Jared Goff had that huge game against the Bears last week, and obviously Lamar Jackson, a big problem for defenses all season.
How about that opener, the Bills and the Ravens? I went to bed early. Ravens who were up big late in the 4th quarter. I thought I was going to bed at the right time, but little did I know Josh Allen and the Bills had a little bit more in store. They look to me to be the best team so far in the NFL here early in the season.
Got the win against the Dolphins on Thursday. Buffalo did at home, although Miami was hanging in there. There's the drop kick by Wesselman. It's the 2nd time he's done that. And Brady Hunt cut down with 13 seconds left around the 35-yard line. Now, they do not have a great kicking situation either, South Carolina. So we'll see how they handle the final 13 seconds with 1 timeout. They've got 2 different kickers they've been using. They use their punter on longer kicks. Does Shane Beamer say, you know what, let's just run the ball here and go to halftime, or does he let Lenore Sellers spin it?
Well, Lenore Sellers is feeling it right now. I'd let him throw the football down the field. They got a timeout in their pocket, and who knows, maybe you can get a big play down the field.
Sellers, pocket breaking down. Sellers steps up and takes a huge hit back at the 33-yard line from Attaway. And it's halftime. And he got hit at the end of the first half last week and didn't return, but he hops to his feet there, smiling as he walks off the field. 2 touchdown passes in the 2nd quarter, and Missouri will get the ball to start the 3rd. Here's Taylor.
Thank you, Coach. You were able to hold them to a field goal on their final possession. What will you tell your defense at half?
Keep holding them to field goals in the red zone. Keep getting takeaways like Gerald Kilgore had. You know, obviously we got to do a better job of stopping the run and just finishing plays. You know, it takes all 11 to get to the ball and get this guy on the ground. There's too many plays on that last drive where it looks like somebody assumes he's on the ground and it spits out of there for a long play. So we got to be better about finishing, but we ain't played great, and we're winning at halftime on the road in the SEC. We knew it was going to be a dang 4-quarter war, and that's what we got, and we got to go in here and figure out a way to play better in the 2nd half.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Dave?
All right, Taylor, trying to avoid an 0-2 start in conference play after being ranked in the top 12 preseason. They lead at halftime, and the Bud Light halftime report is coming up with Matt, Joey, and EJ. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. From Columbia, Missouri, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. The South Carolina Gamecocks, after falling all the way from number 11 out of the rankings, have a 2-point lead at halftime. From the pocket and into a pocket. What a throw from Lenore Sellers. One of 2 touchdown passes for Sellers in the first half. Ahmad Hardy, the standout for Missouri, averaging about 5 yards per carry. The nation's second leading rusher coming in. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Taylor McGregor. South Carolina has the lead despite 1 rushing yard and no design runs for Sellers. How do they have the lead? Bend but don't break for South Carolina. 2 red zone stops forcing field goals, plus the takeaway they got from Kilgore, cashing that in for a touchdown. Folks on the return in trouble and wrapped up and brought down at the 13-yard line. Let's check in with Taylor McGregor.
Well, Dave, Eli Drinkwitz saying we have to shore up our passing defense. He said they're doing some bootleg stuff, getting to the perimeter, and he said our eyes are in the wrong spots, so we have to clean that up. And then offensively, as you can imagine, he said we have to finish drives. 1 for 3 in the red zone. He said specifically we have to be better committing to the run in those situations.
Yeah, 2 short field goals they had to settle for, as you mentioned, Taylor. Robert Meyer missed an extra point, true freshman kicker. And Eli Drinkwitz still showing confidence in the young man. Fabula throwing to the numbers, and it's caught again by Marquise Johnson, and he's got a first down. Johnson has been targeted 7 times now and has 6 catches on the night.
Which is so good in space after the catch. Marquise Johnson just puts Peyton Williams in a bad situation. Back inside, foot in the ground, back outside. Really nice job after the catch from Johnson.
Hardy trying to find a hole, and it's not there. No running room. Hardy saying that's my mistake. Maybe missed an open lane. Okoronkwo on the takedown. No gain.
There wasn't much running room there. Well, I really liked watching 17 Justin Okoronkwo on film. He got his first start here today. He earned that start with the way that he's played here early on in this season. Plays very, very fast, all over the field. Had a pick a week ago. He's been really good for this South Carolina defense.
From Munich, Germany, started out at Alabama, transferred to South Carolina, and the coaches say he's the smartest player on defense. Fabula from the pocket, now takes off being chased and pushed out of play at the 20-yard line by Fred Johnson. That'll go down as a sack and a loss of a handful.
The closing speed by Fred Johnson. Watch him just work to the outside when Fabula decides he's going to become a runner. Kind of sitting back in coverage, waiting, then he commits. Quality closing speed to the quarterback.
First sack for Fred J.R. Johnson.
They're high on him, Dave. The sophomore had an outstanding game against Virginia Tech. High ceiling for him at linebacker.
Missouri 6 of 9 on 3rd down, but this is 3rd and 15. Fabula hit as he throws. It's underthrown and incomplete. Intended for Olubide, and yet Bakari Swain in coverage. No flags, and Missouri will punt it away.
Well, it's going to be pressure right up the middle, right in the face of Fabula. Bring both backers, Fred Johnson on one side, Okoronkwo on the other. And it's Okoronkwo who gets in with that hand, kind of disrupts that pass.
Also, so Dylan Stewart off the edge kind of forced Fabula to step up in the pocket. And Bakari Swain, who has 3 punt returns for touchdowns this season, is back for South Carolina. And he's the backup. He wasn't even in the starting punt returner at the beginning of the year. And he gets brought down at the 38-yard line as we take a look at our playbook brought to you by Modelo.
Well, that second touchdown drive, we saw Lenore Sellers probably at his best. 3 consecutive completions. The first one here to Jacobs, a dart delivered. Love the blitz protection here from Faison. And then you see the pocket savvy from Sellers moving to his left, finding Rowe. And then just confusion on the outside. Norwood at corner. It's also Catalan at safety. No one stays with Brian Rowe as an easy pitch and catch touchdown for the second on the night for Lenore Sellers.
And Sellers fires complete And close to the first down is the 48 for Lenore Sellers, who was hurt and knocked out of the game in the loss to Vanderbilt last week at the end of the second quarter. He practiced this week, was cleared Thursday to play. He started and been out there for every snap, but we still haven't seen any setup run plays for him. Coach has said that he can do anything tonight. Has nothing to do with health as to why they're not running him. Faison this time gets only a yard, so to bring up second down, here's Taylor.
Well, part of the running issues could be the offensive line being banged up, Dave. Starting center Nolan Hay is out for the rest of the game with a left knee injury. This is in addition to starting right tackle Kason Henry also being out with a shoulder injury.
And Ray was inserted as a starter today because they're having some issues with Boaz Stanley in his snaps. And here's the first run for Sellers. The other times he was just sacked and pressured, and those were official run plays, but that's really the first time we've seen him out on the perimeter.
And it's a nice job by Brady Hunt getting out in front and blocking. Little read zone. A nice job by Sellers identifying. He's got that extra blocker outside, gets to the perimeter. Setting up third and very manageable. Rodney Newsom Jr. to Taylor's point, now you're starting center. Not Boaz Stanley, who started the first 3 games. He's staying at right guard. But a completely different offensive line than we've seen all year for this Gamecocks offense.
Maybe 4-down territory based on where they are in the field. Sellers dropping back. There's a flag down. Sellers taking a shot, and coming back for the ball is Jacobs, and he makes the catch inside the 5-yard line. Waiting on the penalty. There was an offside in the first half that Sellers took advantage of. Threw a deep ball for a touchdown. Sellers just as curious as everybody what the call's going to be. There's still a conversation going on.
There is no foul, illegal motion. All players were set prior to the snap. First down.
First and goal for South Carolina.
Well, watch with the hard play action. It brings Catalon down and sets up that one-on-one on the deep post. And Sellers puts plenty of air underneath the football. I love the way Jacobs tracks this ball in the air, works back to it, the concentration, gets those forearms underneath the football, and makes an outstanding catch down the field.
He's got 116 receiving yards on the day. They'll go out of the eye. On first and goal, play action. Sellers facing pressure and doesn't throw the ball away, and a sack by Zion Young for a loss of about 15.
Play action once again. They want to move the pocket, and Zion Young, he is not fooled whatsoever. Watch him get up the field, play this block perfectly. As Faison goes low, sidestep that good with his hands. And Sellers unable to get rid of the football. He's got to try to find a way to get outside the pocket, evade that rush, and get rid of the ball. But a huge sack for Zion Young.
Well, you saw him there spike the ball a couple times. He knew he made a mistake. 4th sack of Sellers. Second and goal from the 15. Sellers with time, flips it towards the end zone, incomplete. Trying to hit Dingle. Penalty flag down in the backfield.
Left guard might get hit with a holding.
Offense number 72. 2-yard penalty for previous spot.
True freshman Shedrick Surratt going to be a culprit here inside. They're going to run a game. Watch as he holds on the back of that jersey. Basically a takedown and a tackle of Sterling Webb. And all of a sudden now, Dave, they've backed up and they're on the fringe of field goal range, given, as you talked about earlier, the woes they've had with their kicker.
Yeah, second down and from one Columbia to the other. Design run for Sellers, trying to get a chunk of it back, but he's wrapped up and spun down after a gain of 2. It'll bring up third and goal from about the 23-yard line.
It's well defended. Khalil Jacobs flying downhill. Staff was so excited about the addition of him in particular in a game like this. I've touched on it a couple of times. Khalil Jacobs, as well as Darius Smith. This crowd, man, they've been outstanding on third down all night.
Facing a four-man rush, Sellers, open receiver underneath is Nick Harbor, and he gets back to about the 12. It'll make it a shorter field goal here to try to extend the lead.
It's a smart play there in third and really long. And as we talked with Shane Beamer, he just really, once they hit about 45 yards, was a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's a good identification by Lenore Sellers, finding Nick Harbor open underneath, and now chopping this field goal attempt pretty much in half.
And anything inside of about 40 yards, it's going to be William Joyce as the kicker. Otherwise, the punter, Mason Love, will be the guy. This is a 32-yard attempt. And Joyce splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 5 for South Carolina. The most important factor in student achievement is the teacher in the classroom, and this is why, in honor of Extra Yard for Teachers Week, ESPN is celebrating the role of teachers and their dedication to supporting students' development. On behalf of the College Football Playoff Foundation and ESPN, we recognize your passion, commitment, and the work that goes into ensuring your students succeed. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Taylor McGregor in Columbia, Missouri. Missouri has a 13-game home win streak. This is their SEC opener, and they trail by 5 midway through the third quarter. South Carolina just added a field goal on the last possession. Be a touchback, and we'll start on the 25. So we donated a $1,000 Donors Choose gift card to Elliott Battle Elementary to use towards resources for classrooms and students. And Former Michigan State Spartan and current Missouri Tiger defensive end Zion Young was on hand with Dr. Kyra Young, the principal, to hand out the check.
Love that. Zion Young just with a sack on that last possession on first down. Appreciate all of our teachers and educators out there. Nice night tonight here for Zion Young, veteran player, really stepping up for this defense.
Ahmad Hardy running to the right to throw past the 30-yard line. Another broken tackle, and Hardy still going. Hand fighting down the sideline. Nobody can tackle this guy. Ahmad Hardy leads the country in forced missed tackles.
Keegan Trost, and it's Brett Norfleet outside, and they're going to open up a lane on this outside zone. This is the staple of what Missouri likes to do. Trost gets to that second level, a kick out from Norfleet. And how good is Ahmad Hardy at making people miss? He's so tough to get a good shot on. Another explosive run for the Missouri running back.
103 rushing yards for Hardy on the day, 575 on the year. And this is week 4. Now, Brandon Cisse, starting corner for South Carolina, just went out of the game due to injury. See if Missouri looks to attack that position here. Instead, they'll keep it on the ground with Hardy. And this time, South Carolina gets into the ground, but still, it's 4 or 5 yards downfield.
Good push off that right side. Continue to go right there behind Keegan Trost, Curtis Piegler, and the center, Connor Tollison, really does a good job getting good position on the interior of these defensive tackles. Few teams run that outside zone as well and consistently as what they do here at Mizzou.
Think about it. They had Keywan Lacey last year, who's now starring at Ole Miss. He transferred. Hardy comes in from ULM and has been terrific. Another broken tackle and finally stacked up short of the line to gain for Ahmad Hardy, who in the offseason not only rides horses, he does it every single day in the summer. Also a big fisherman. Sometimes when he'll score a touchdown, he'll celebrate as if he's riding a horse or catching a fish. 6 straight games of 100 rushing yards and a touchdown, the longest active in the country.
He is outstanding. Crazy to think, just 2 offers out of high school, Louisiana Monroe, Southern Miss, and this was just a perfect fit here at Missouri stylistically to what he did at ULM. Very similar scheme and similar success here in the SEC.
Monkel Goodwine shaken up. Now, if the ball was spotted and Goodwine then went to the ground, it will cost South Carolina a timeout, which obviously could be huge in a close game. That's a new rule to avoid feigning injuries. So let's see if he presents himself as injured after the ball is spotted.
Monkel Goodwine, center of your screen.
Ball, yeah,
he was down before the ball was spotted.
Yep, so no timeout taken away from South Carolina there. And some of that just comes down to how quickly you get the ball spotted.
That's exactly
on the officials, right? 3rd down and 3. It's going to be Roberts. And they finally get Roberts to the ground. Boy, both running backs for Missouri hard to get down. Okoronkwo in the tackle, going to be close. And it is a 1st down.
They bring in Jamal Roberts a lot in 3rd down. They trust him in protection, catches the ball well. He had an impact last year as a freshman. And even with the emergence of Ahmad Hardy, still has a pivotal role here on this team. Nice, tough running there on 3rd down.
Missouri is 24-5 in its last 29 games. That's the 4th best record in college football. But they're in a fight here at home against South Carolina. Prabula back to pass, has to step up and takes off, and he's got room past the 20. And then defenders come flying in, and flags soar in as well as Prabula gets down to the 10. Bakari Swain and another Gamecock defender trying to make the hit on Prabula.
But the mistakes and the penalties continue to mount on South Carolina.
Dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense with targeting. Defense, number 4.
Now that's really important
Automatic first
because
down.
Bakari
Previous
Swain has
play
been the
is
best
under
punt
review.
returner in college football this year. So you lose a corner and your top punt returner.
And Cisse banged up earlier on this possession. Now you're down yet another corner. As we see Pribula go down. Now he doesn't really go into the slide.
You see the helmet-to-helmet hit there. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, do you see it the same way the officials saw it on the field?
Yeah, I do, Dave. It's not a great slide, but he is attempting to get down. And number 4 looks like he comes in and does everything he can to hit him in the head with his head. So I think it's first, it's a great call for unnecessary roughness with targeting, and I do think the targeting should be confirmed or upheld.
It was an odd slide. You could tell Pribula was trying to go down. It was almost like he was sitting down, but those legs did begin to come out from underneath him. And if you're Bakari Swain, you've got to try at all possibilities to avoid contact, and especially contact to the head or neck area with your own helmet. Like you've got to put yourself in a better position as a defender in that spot.
If it is upheld, he is done for the night and the first half of next week's game against Kentucky. And obviously very dangerous play. That's why they added the targeting rule a few years ago for plays like that. I know it's hard against a sliding quarterback. You're coming in fast. You're trying to anticipate when he's going to slide.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. However, the dead ball foul for personal foul will be enforced after the goal on that first down.
All right, Matt, why was this ruled not targeting with now a chance to look at replay?
Well, the way I understand it is they don't think he was defenseless because of the slide. I disagree. I think we need to take better care of our quarterbacks, and just because it's a bad slide, he's definitely giving himself up. That's a bad hit we don't want in football, so I disagree with the call.
I'm with you. I'm really surprised they overturned that. It's a dangerous play, but Swain stays out there. Still the penalty, though, just not for targeting, and it's 1st and goal on the 5. Give to Hardy. And again, Hardy keeps his feet moving, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Ahmad Hardy is unstoppable tonight. Sixth rushing touchdown for Hardy. Missouri going for 2. Go for Dose. Brought to you by Dos Equis, trying to make it a 3-point game. But again, Ahmad Hardy keeping the feet churning. Takes multiple defenders to even slow him down, and that wasn't enough to keep him from Pater. Here's Roberts, and he's wrapped up, and no good on the conversion. It remains a 1-point game. Missouri in front now.
There's been nobody better in college football to this point at making tacklers miss than Ahmad Hardy. This is for the highlight reel. Dylan Stewart gets there first. He tries to get the first crack at him. Then it's a host of Gamecocks. He's got his back laying on the defenders. He rolls over, keeps the legs turning. Touchdown, Ahmad Hardy.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. What a great scene here in Columbia, Missouri, where the Tigers have taken a 1-point lead over South Carolina. Our college football rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Several top 10 teams not in action. Miami and Florida right now on ABC, and the Canes are up 13-0.
Wow.
How about Illinois, Indiana?
Wow, so that's an impressive night there in Bloomington at the Rock.
And you got Connor Wesselman here, the drop kick. How many times do you see that anymore in college football? And taken on the 8-yard line by Holman. And he gets hit hard, and down he goes at the 25-yard line. Rodriguez, who's made some plays on defense, now with a special teams tackle.
The rushing discrepancy in this ball game is staggering. 180 for Missouri, -2 for South Carolina. They've stayed in this ball game with deep shots down the field. Can they find any semblance of a running game here this final 20 minutes of this ball game?
They've run 19 fewer plays than Missouri, in part because they can't run it. They tried Sellers some that last possession after not running it really at all in the first half. Attaway, the ball carrier, and through a little bit of a crease. They'll take that. It's about 4 yards there on first down.
Trying to get something going to complement this passing attack. They like their matchups they've had down the field with these receivers and corners. They've got to find a way to establish a run game.
Sellers off play action, gets rid of it the last second. Incomplete pass as he was being wrapped up by Zion Young.
Well, Zion Young's having himself a ball game as he flexes after the nice play. Watch him here just stay square and put the pressure on Lenora Sellers. He's going to work down the line, and then he's going to get vertical immediately.
Dusty, they're talking about whether this should be grounding. You saw the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. But look, there was a receiver in the area. He got hit.
And his arm was getting hit by Zion Young. I'd be surprised if this was grounding.
So no grounding, just an incomplete pass. Receiver in the area, 3rd and 7. They're 2 for 6 on 3rd down so far in the game. Sellers has had good passing numbers, though, over 100 yards through the air on this down. Sellers lobbing it, and it's caught for a first down by Jared Brown. Just his 3rd catch of the year into Missouri territory for 32 yards.
What a timely possession pass here from Lenora Sellers. That time they brought Brown out of the backfield, late to identify for Missouri, and I love the touch on the pass from Sellers.
Back to the ground game, and Oscar Attaway, the 3rd. There's a penalty flagged out. Attaway tackled by Nicholas Rodriguez again.
Ball start on the offense. Not all 11 players were set for a full second. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
10 penalties on South Carolina in the game. Coming off that loss to Vanderbilt last week, they were ranked 11th in the country. Had been in the top 10 after that week 1 win over Virginia Tech. First time since 2014, coming off a 9-win season a year ago. And last week, their quarterback, Lenora Sellers, knocked out at the end of the first half, did not return. But he started and played every snap tonight. He's got 2 passing touchdowns. But now facing a 1st and 15 after the penalty. From the pocket, Sellers going to take off and run. And head for the sideline. Out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Got 6 yards back.
I like that decision. Big running lane opened up off the right side. And he made a decision pretty quickly, pretty distinctly. Saw a lot of green grass. Get back what you lost on the false start. Set up certain getting to 2nd and somewhat manageable here on this drive.
And Missouri also lost one of its starting corners. Dre Norwood is not out there. We're being told that he's in the medical tent right now for Eli Drinkwood's team. 2nd down and 9 for South Carolina at the 38 of Mizzou. Sellers setting up the screen, and Attaway has some room. Got the 1st. Carries defenders inside the 25. A 14-yard pickup, beautifully designed and executed.
Yeah, I love this play design, Dave. They're just going to sneak him out here. They're going to take the center and get out in front. He's going to get just enough to provide the space Attaway needs to get nice yards after the catch. Good timing there from Sellers, drawing the defenders in and locating his running back on the screen pass.
Phase on off the right side and gets maybe a yard. The play caller is Mike Shula, who was an offensive assistant at South Carolina last year, former Alabama head coach, son of Don Shula, of course, and he was also the offensive coordinator when Cam Newton and the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. And he told us yesterday, see some similarities, not necessarily in body type, but in how they run the ball.
Their effectiveness and the big plays they can create for his offense.
And they're both big guys, but different kinds of big. Sellers a couple inches shorter than Cam Newton, and he's in trouble here, and the ball is out of his hand. They're trying to determine, did he throw the ball, did he fumble it? They're saying that he's down, so he lost the ball, and actually they're saying his knee was down earlier, before all that at the end. It's a loss of almost 20.
He got himself in a serious trouble. Good rush on the inside, looked like Sterling Webb, and knee down.
5 sacks now, loss of 21. He's had a couple mistakes there in those situations.
Trying to make a play, but just a disaster there on second down.
Sellers on the run again. Throws complete and maybe into field goal range, although a penalty marker is down as Dingle made the catch.
And it's going to be a hold on the left tackle. Damon Wilson with a good rush.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, in space. Please third down. I asked him.
We haven't mentioned Damon Wilson's name much here today, but he does a really good job with his get off. And Josiah Thompson, kind of a takedown there on Damon Wilson, draws the flag immediately. And no doubt Eli Drinkwitz likes to take this penalty and back him up. 7
offensive penalties on South Carolina now in the game. And this is going to be 3rd and 37. And Shane Beamer took his microphone and just turned it the other way. What is he going to say? What is he going to add here to the play call on 3rd and 37?
Frustration from Shane Beamer. They found themselves in a 3rd and 33 a week ago. This even worse.
Trying to get back into field goal range. Sellers again being chased and now launches it, and it's caught inside the 20-yard line. It's not going to be a first down, but they might have a decision to make. Nick Harbor on the grab. And let's see where they spot him. It's going to be close by about a yard or 2.
But this is outstanding. Moving to his left, running away from pressure, and delivers a dime to Nick Harbor, working across the field. And this just tells you the lack of trust in the field goal unit. They're going to keep the offense on the field. And I'd love to see a design quarterback run in a spot like this.
You like the decision to begin with to go for it here.
I mean, he told us yesterday the kicking situation. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more like 4th and 5 here in this spot. They backed it up a little bit.
And now we got a stoppage of play. And maybe Shane Beamer saw them spot the ball further back.
Timeout, Missouri.
And said, well, they're going to say the timeout was actually Missouri. So timeout by Missouri. So that'll give Shane Beamer more time to think about what he wants to do. Because it is 4th and 4 now because they moved it back 2 yards. pass, Dusty Dvorak. Taylor McGregor back in Columbia, Missouri. After the Missouri timeout, Shane Beamer changes his mind. They also moved the ball back 2 yards, so it's 4th and 4 instead of 4th and 2. So this will be a 36-yard attempt for William Joyce. And it's good. It was 3rd and 37 back in South Carolina territory. Lenora Sellers with a beautiful 33-yard completion to Nick Harbor to set up the go-ahead field goal.
On that drive, a 32-yard completion to Jared Brown out of the backfield. It's a great play design by Mike Shula. And then after a mistake by Lenora Sellers, giving ground, trying to evade a sack, he comes back and makes, I think, the throw of the day for him so far, eluding a would-be tackler, working to his left, and you can't deliver it any better on the move to Nick Harbor to set them up back in field goal position. And some explosive plays in this passing game here today from Lenora Sellers and these pass catchers of the Gamecocks.
And the way it's going, it may come down to the kicking game, which has been an issue for both teams. We've had a missed extra point by Missouri in this game. But you talked about the explosive plays. 6 passing plays of 20 yards or more for Sellers, who's at 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been sacked 5 times. A couple of those were on him for not getting rid of the football. Max Kelly will kick it deep. Folks is the return man for Missouri. A touchback, it'll come out to the 25. Our final Sunday night baseball matchup of the regular season. It's a huge one, a game separating the Mariners and Astros in the AL West. Seattle right now up on Houston 6-0 in the Saturday night game of that series. 7 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN and the app. Coverage starts 6 Eastern, ESPN2. Baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown.
Can South Carolina slow down and limit this rushing attack of Missouri? Because they have just run wild here throughout the course of the evening, and especially that last drive.
They'll go back to Ahmad Hardy, over 100 rushing yards on the night. Taken down after a 5-yard gain. He's got 121 rushing yards now. Goodwine on the stop. And that, unless Missouri snaps it really quickly, will be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
12 personnel, 2 tight ends. That outside zone just continues to churn out yardage for this Tiger rushing attack.
1 quarter to go in Columbia, Missouri. South Carolina on the road trying to end the Tigers' 13-game home win streak. It's a 2-point game. The Stars are shining bright on Saturday night in the SEC.
can force a turnover and who can finish running the ball.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Moments ago, Taylor McGregor and Missouri coach Eli Drinkwitz.
Coach, it's been back and forth. What will this game come down to in the fourth quarter?
Execution. I mean, it's just going to come down to execution. Who can force a turnover and who can finish running the ball.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
Well, it was South Carolina, Taylor, that forced the turnover in the first half that led to a touchdown. They have a 2-point lead as we start the final frame. Play action for Pribula, the Penn State transfer, throwing on the move, complete. His favorite target tonight, Marquise Johnson, who's been targeted 8 times and has 7 catches now. He picked up 14 yards there.
When you run the football, it sets up play action pass, going to run the boot, and unable to stay with them is Cisse back in the ball game. Executed perfectly. When you can run the outside zone, it sets up the boot. Good timing there for both Pribula to what's been his favorite target, Marquise Johnson.
Gonna hand it off, the 20th carry of the game for Ahmad Hardy. JT Greer got Hardy to the ground, but gain of 4 or 5 on first down. Hardy is over 125 rushing yards now on the night.
It's zone to the right, play action, zone to the left. Not a lot of secrets in what's going on here and how Kirby Moore, offensive coordinator, is attacking this South Carolina defense.
Clayton White, you just saw there, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, trying to find an answer for Ahmad Hardy. And a penalty marker down, some movement by Mizzou.
Ball start, number 0 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the receiver, Josh Manning. 4th penalty on Missouri, 11 on South Carolina.
We're just a mistake here. We've seen a lot tonight from the South Carolina side. A mistake here by Missouri. It's like he's going to start some motion and then just moves and stays still. Draws the flag.
Kevin Coleman has been really quiet tonight, Dusty. Just 1 carry, 3 catches. Nothing downfield, really. See if they try to get him involved here in the 4th quarter.
Guy that averages 8 catches a game coming into tonight.
On 2nd and long. And they set up the screen and they get some movement as Hardy was out there blocking for Manning that time. As Manning on the catch gets a first down.
It's really good blocking down the field. The entire right side of the offensive line, including Brett Norfleet, the tight end, getting that 2nd and 3rd level, helping spring Josh Manning after the catch. Really well done. That's 2nd and 3rd level blocking.
So first down at the 45 of South Carolina. South Carolina with 8 in the box here. They'll run Hardy to the right, and again the offensive line gets good movement at the point of attack. And another good gain on first down, about 6 yards that time. Johnson on the tackle.
Boy, Keegan Trost, watch him right here. He's working on one of the best defensive ends in the country, and Dylan Stewart. He's doing an excellent job all night. And it's so key that that right tackle is able to set up and set that edge in this outside zone running scheme. And it's been doing an excellent job all night. And once again, nice pickup on first down for Ahmad Hardy.
He's replacing Armand Membu, a first-round pick of the New York Jets. Played right tackle for Missouri last year. Hardy, again, being patient, waiting for that hole to open, and will not go down. Got a first down. Missouri will have a fresh set of downs at the 35. 3 minutes into the 4th quarter, trying to extend the home win streak to 14 and win their SEC opener. They have their first 6 games this season here at home. First time that's happened in FBS since 1985. They have UMass and then Alabama before playing their first road game at Auburn on October 18th. Prabula hits Norfleet. It'll be a short game. Swain on the takedown.
Yeah, this schedule could not have set up better for Missouri. And you saw it coming out, going all the way back to SEC Media Days. It was a big talking point and conversation. They've handled the schedule well so far in a fight here. First SEC matchup at home with South Carolina coming to town. And Ahmad Hardy, before that last play day, he said, "Feed me." The running back hungry for more carries here in this fourth quarter.
He's got 22 of them already. Prabula to throw. In trouble, takes off. And instead of sliding this time, he just kept running. Some of the South Carolina defenders paused, and he got extra yardage, a gain of 11.
This is so smart by Bo Prabula. He's going to recognize the 12 gear, freeze it right there. And when gear works inside, it's going to open up the outside for Prabula. Going to take advantage of that. He sees that green grass. And once again, when he gets north and south, nice speed, picking up the first down.
Ninth play of the drive. The Penn State transfer. Handing it off to Ahmad Hardy inside the 20. We had a good talk with Bo Prabula yesterday for about 15-20 minutes. And it's not easy transferring in and taking over for a guy like Brady Cook, who was a three-time captain, a three-year starter. And then you had the injury to Sam Horn, the battle with Prabula and Horn throughout camp. But it was pretty clear in our conversation with him and some of the other players and coaches that he won the locker room over quickly when he became the starter.
With his work ethic, coming in, working, building relationships with the players. He is such a process-oriented, driven guy, prepared like he was a starter at Penn State. Now that he's gotten the job, he's taken it to another level.
Jamal Roberts able to break a tackle inside the 10. Roberts heading for the end zone. It's a touchdown. Missouri back in front. Jamal Roberts hugging the sideline. Stayed in bounds. And the Tigers retake the advantage.
I know we've talked a lot about Ahmad Hardy, but we mentioned it. There's a 1-2 punch here. Jamal Roberts with a tough piece of running. And a look from your progressive pylon cam coming right at you. The balance to stay in. Recognition where the sideline is.
And Missouri going for 2 to try to make it a 6-point game. They fake the end around. Prabula keeps it. And he scores. 26-20 Tigers.
We mention outside zone all night. It's who Missouri is. They don't stray away from it. It's their identity. And they block it so well. Left tackle. Watch Brett Norfleet get up on Kilgore. It's done as well as you can do it. And then Roberts with tough running in the open field. It's been Hardy. It's been Roberts. It's been this Missouri ground attack. Now up to 232 yards. Prabula tacks on 2. The Tigers up late.
Presented by Experian. Missouri up 6 after a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now Connor Wesselman with the drop kick. This is so hard to cover. It hits the ground. It's caught in midair this time by Holman, though. And Holman puts his head down, stacked up at the 30. Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor here in Columbia, Missouri. And Lenore Sellers trying to lead his team back to victory like he did against Missouri at home last year with a game-winning touchdown in the final minute. Also trying to prove to many NFL executives that think he should be the #1 pick that he is worthy of that. He's had some great moments in this game tonight. 2 touchdown passes. He is 9 for his last 10 passing.
Really stepped up here on the road from really the second quarter on. Has elevated his game. It's been explosive chunk plays down the field and just no semblance of a run game to complement their passing attack.
5 sacks, -8 rushing yards. That ball is batted up into the air and incomplete, nearly picked off on the redirection by Trotter. It was intended for Brady Hunt.
Tight coverage there by Nicholas Rodriguez, right off the fingertips of Brady Hunt. Took his eyes slightly off that football, unable to firmly secure it with his hands.
Rodriguez in coverage. I mean, he's had a night for Missouri. Played so well. Just the 6th incompletion for Sellers. A swing pass here out in space. Faison able to slip a tackle and find some running room. And then he gets walloped by Burks after a gain of about 3.
Well, this is so good by Faison just to get something. I mean, this is dead. Dalen Carnell is going to come down. He's going to beat the block from Brady Hunt. This is a loss of 4 or 5 yards, but Faison makes him miss. He's patient. Good job by Hunt regathering, getting a block just to get something on a play that had disaster written all over it.
An official stopping play.
Previous play is under review for potential targeting.
Well, we mentioned the big hit by Marvin Burks Jr. along the sideline. Replay can create targeting. We'll take a look.
They're going to look at this for crown of the helmet for Marvin Burks, because clearly Faison is a runner, not protected, but you can't use the crown of your helmet anywhere on the field. And we can bring in Matt Austin here. Matt, I mean, that's what they're going to look at, right? This is just a question, is this the crown of the helmet?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Dusty. And it does look like the crown of the helmet to me. Now, they've narrowed the diameter or the radius up to 6 inches, but it does look, it make contact with the crown before his head turns to the side.
Thanks, Matt. When a crown of helmet is involved, doesn't have to have a defenseless player.
Correct.
In that situation, it has to be crown of the helmet for it to be targeting. And it did look like targeting, but we thought there was one earlier in the game, and actually replay overturned the ruling on the field of targeting.
And these calls, and for crown of the helmet targeting, it's as much to protect the defender as it is the offensive player. You really put yourself at harm's way when you duck your head like that and strike at the top of the helmet.
The ruling on the field is upheld. There is no foul for targeting. It's 3rd down.
So we're 0 for 2.
Well, it's a very close gray area, and as a former defender, I'm glad Marvin Burks Jr. is able to continue to play on. It's a dangerous play there when you duck your head the way that they do.
So it's 3rd down and 7 for South Carolina on its 33, trailing by 6. Sellers with time, lobs it downfield and thrown out of bounds, trying to hit Nick Harbor. 4th down, and South Carolina will have to punt it away.
It was good clean pocket here for Lenore Sellers. And he wants to find his big 6'5", 235-pound target. This ball sails a little bit away from Harbor. And a big stop for that Missouri defense.
Shane Beamer was waiting. He was thinking about it. 4th down and 7, thinking about going for it. He kept his punt team on the sideline. But
yeah, you can't do that right now. Obviously, I think it's punt safe here if you're Missouri. Red alert for a fake, but
they've got a great punter in Mason Love. But this is short. And moving to his left is Kevin Coleman Jr. to make the fair catch at about the 28-yard line. And that punt was only 39 yards. Missouri ball up 6, and we come back.
Well, it's been the Ahmad Hardy show here tonight, and his ability to make people miss. You see the power running through that would-be tackler. How about Trost? How about Norfleet opening up? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 missed tackles on that big 38-yard run. And how about this touchdown? Laying on defenders, keeping the legs moving, finding the end zone. He has been sensational. We asked him about the yards after contact and how he does it. He says he didn't know. Natural instincts. He's just been doing it his whole life. And he said Marshawn Lynch was the player that he grew up looking to try to mimic his game after. He looks beast mode here tonight for this Tiger offense.
The reigning Walter Camp National Player of the Week. He'll be in the conversation again with the one he's done here tonight. Trying to find some room off the outside. And he picks up maybe 2. A flag comes flying in as Okoronkwo made the hit at the 31.
Holding offense number 86. 10-yard penalty in the previous spot. Big first down.
That's a big penalty on Jordan Harris. Time now for our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
So Ahmad Hardy has 100+ rushing yards in 4 straight games. Who was the last player at Missouri to do that?
Cody Schrader.
Last year, you think?
Well, it was 2 years ago. I mean, unless it happened last year, but I'm
no. 2 years ago.
Cody
I think you're
Schrader.
right.
Yeah,
2023.
He had a phenomenal year.
Went to the Cotton Bowl that year. They've won 10+ games each of the last 2 years. For the first time in a decade, they've never had 3 straight of those. Prabula on the quarterback draw, and he gets a chunk run all the way out past the 30-yard line before Norwood and Kilgore converge.
We watch Connor Tollison. He's going to go here and then work up to the second level and get this key block to help spring the run by Prabula. Excellent job by the senior Tollison. Give help on the defensive tackle, get to that second level.
So a gain of 13 for Prabula. So it goes from 1st and 20 to 2nd and 7, midway point of the 4th quarter with Missouri up 6. It'll be Jamal Roberts this time. Lassoed at the line of scrimmage. Nick Barrett. He also had Brownlow Dindy in there. Once again, 3rd and long for Missouri.
Huge spot here for Clayton White's defense. Can South Carolina get a big stop and get the football back for Lenore Sellers? Missouri's been 7 of 11 on 3rd down here tonight. And the go-to guy so much of the season, these spots, Kevin Coleman, up top of your screen.
Prabula throwing high and incomplete. Marquise Johnson, who had a one-handed catch earlier in the game, could not snatch that one, and Missouri will punt it back to the Gamecocks.
Well, it's been Kevin Coleman all year as the go-to guy, but tonight, Marquise Johnson, and as you touched on, Dave, we've seen spectacular one-handed grabs, but not able to bring in this pass. Just one-on-one outside. Prabula had what he wanted. Pass just sailed ever so slightly, and a huge stop for South Carolina.
And there's Vakari Swain. 3 punt returns for touchdowns this season, tying a school record. Will they kick it to him? There was contact to the punter, and a flag comes down. If it's running into the kicker, it's still 4th down. If it's roughing, it's a 1st down for Missouri. It was J.T. Gear that got to the punter, Connor Wesselman. They still have not signaled whether it's running or roughing, but assuming it's running, and that's what they're talking to Coach Drink about, whether he wants to punt it again or go for it.
It's going to make it 4th and 2 from about the
running in the
37.
Kicker, penalty is declined. Result in play, 1st down.
So a little surprised they didn't punt it again. Give the punter another chance. It wasn't a great kick. So South Carolina will take over on its 31-yard line when we come back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Experian, your big financial friend, a BFF for life. When you're tackling life's big financial moments, it's good to have a big financial friend on your team. Ready to take control of your finances? Download the Experian app now.
South Carolina has lost its starting center, its right tackle, but they still have Lenore Sellers, who has dominated Missouri. 5 touchdown passes a year ago, 2 in this one, including a bomb, a 49-yard touchdown pass to Dre Jacobs. He added another touchdown pass. He's also been sacked a handful of times. They haven't really run him in this game, but it's in his hands, looking to take his team down the field and take the lead. Missouri missed an extra point in the first quarter, which could be huge. Design run for Sellers. Only the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that, but nowhere to go. Chased out by Hall for maybe a yard.
They have completely shut down Lenore Sellers as a runner. Give a lot of credit to Corey Batoon, defensive coordinator. They have had a good plan. And Stephen Hall right there in perfect position to escort Sellers out of bounds after a minimal gain.
Sellers preseason first team All-SEC after being the National Freshman of the Year last year. Many think the top quarterback in the 2026 NFL draft. Has not had any help from his run game, as you saw, -7 rushing yards. Back to pass, Sellers taking a shot downfield and almost intercepted. The defender Pride had a better chance at that than the receiver Nick Harbor, and it brings up 3rd and long.
And with this, Lenore Sellers very fortunate here. Pride was never able to locate this ball, but he was much more in the vicinity of this football than Nick Harbor. Nick Harbor looked like he kind of got lost, kind of throttled down the top of his route. We've seen Lenore's have a lot of success down the field, but Harbor unable to locate that football. And a long incompletion. Check it at the line.
Missouri rushing 3. Sellers steps up in the pocket, fires high and incomplete, and he had a receiver open. Jacobs at about the 40. That's a miss by Sellers. It's 4th down, and South Carolina will have to punt.
Which just a 3-man rush, and then Darius Smith is going to be the late add. He gets pressure right into the face of Lenore Sellers. Could easily have been the reason that pass sells high. Smith closes late. And you touched on it, Dave. He has the man he's looking for. Dre Jacobs open and misses.
Love with a good punt. And it's secured at the 20-yard line by Coleman with 5:03 to go. All right, let's answer the Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Ahmad Hardy of Missouri with 100+ rushing yards in each of his first 4 games this season. Who was the last to do it at Missouri? You and I were both wrong. You got to go back to 1969.
Whoa.
Joe Moore.
Surely they weren't going to give us one that easy, right? Joe Moore. Cody Schrader, I'm shocked that he didn't have 4 straight games of 100 yards. I do think, just talking about the running back room, we've seen the running backs coach Curtis Looper, and Ahmad Hardy really credited him for a big reason why he's here. He deserves a lot of credit. Since he's been here and been the running backs coach, they've continued to churn out quality backs year after year.
But it's Jamal Roberts at tailback now for Missouri on 1st down at the 21. Roberts finds some room and picks up a handful. They continue to get 4 to 5 yards every time they run the ball on 1st down. They're hovering right around 250 rushing yards, -7 for South Carolina. Eli Drinkwitz at the end of the 3rd quarter told Taylor McGregor, whoever runs the ball better is going to win the game.
And this is exactly the way the game, they wanted to see it play out. Eli Drinkwitz, we talked to him yesterday. Heavy dose of the zone, now a little counter action there to come back to. Is good patience by Roberts on 1st down.
And the clock is moving inside 4.5 to go. 3 timeouts for South Carolina and the official 2-minute timeout. Roberts again, and a great tackle. A flag comes flying in at the end, but Busey did a nice job to grab the legs of Roberts and take him down. Flag was thrown in the offensive backfield, and Missouri is backing up.
Personal foul, hands and face, defense number 99. 15-yard penalty for them to run. Automatic 1st down.
A couple of South Carolina or Missouri players thought it was a holding. They started to back up, but Brownlow Dindy with the hands to the face gives Missouri a first down.
Brownlow Dindy working inside. Gets that right hand up in the face mask of 75 Richardson. And that's kind of been one of the stories of the night, Dave. The penalties continue to pile up for South Carolina.
Easy call for the official. 12 penalties on the Gamecocks. And the clock moving inside 4 minutes to go now at the Missouri 42 with a fresh set of downs. And Ahmad Hardy, who's got 23 carries, back on the field. He had 25 against Kansas. Here's the quarterback, Pribula, keeping it himself, and he slides for a first down at about the 44-yard line of South Carolina.
Again, you get that stretch going. Now watch, Stewart's going to close hard from the backside, and nobody's going to be out there on the boot. Naked boot from Pribula. Easy like Sunday morning. When you can establish the rushing attack and force that backside defender to just fly down the line of scrimmage, it really opens things up. They've been waiting on that, waiting on it, and really make the call at the perfect time.
He's got 74 rushing yards to go with 171 through the air. Clock nearing 3 minutes to go. Can South Carolina get a stop? Roberts hammers his way down to about the 37 for 6 yards. Dylan Stewart on the tackle. Missouri milking the clock.
Well, Dylan Stewart, he already got ejected from the last game, and I'm surprised he didn't draw a flag here toward the end of this. Whistle is blown. This play's dead by the time this happens. Not completely egregious, just
unnecessary.
He could be a little bit smarter given what happened at the last week.
Well, coaches just took him out. 2nd and 4 at the 37. Run it between the tackles. And Jamal Roberts gets another Missouri first down. Roberts, a redshirt sophomore from St. Louis, has been just as effective running the football, as Missouri's going to let it go down to 2 minutes, and really it comes back to South Carolina now. Got to hope that they can get a stop and that Missouri misses a field goal or turns it over. The Tigers in command right now with 2 to play. Up 6.
Time now for the final 2 minutes, delivered by Factor.
Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor back in Columbia. Well, Missouri's starting left tackle Caden Green, a captain, transfer from Oklahoma, got hurt in practice this week, has not played. Yet Missouri is still rushed for 276.
The offensive line has been outstanding. Eli Drinkwitz told me earlier this week, whoever wins the line of scrimmage will win this game. The Missouri offensive line has been a huge factor all night.
Jamal Roberts with room, busts it to the outside. Shoved out of bounds inside the 20. It's a first down for Missouri with 1:54 to go. And South Carolina trailing by 6, needing a stop.
Well, it's going to be down block, pull the backside offensive guard, and watch this lane that opens up back to the left. The counter hits perfectly, and it's once again Brett Norfleet with another key block as well.
Norfleet got hurt a little bit earlier in the game, but is back out there. Excellent pass catcher, very involved in the ball game. And Roberts got shoved out, so that stops the clock. That helps South Carolina. But really, it's come down to they got to get 3 stops here and then hope Missouri misses a field goal. That's not a slam dunk with some of the Tigers' kicking issues. Here's Roberts, cut down as Cisse comes in and chops him to the ground for no gain. There's the first timeout. 2 left for South Carolina with 1:50 on the clock. They missed an extra point earlier in the game, and they have 2 different kickers who they might go to in this situation. But while we have a moment, we're going to check with Matt Berry in the studio. Well, maybe that'll take some of the criticism off of Arch for now.
They need that. They hit a bye this week, then they got to go to Florida. As we take a look at these kickers, Dave, that was one thing. Talk with Coach Drinkwitz earlier this week. He didn't feel great about where they were as far as the kicking game goes.
Still some work to do for South Carolina to force that field goal try. And you get 4th and short. Missouri may elect to go for it. Try to win the game with the offense on the field.
Well, that Jamal Roberts going out of bounds, that cost him quite a few seconds, and now gives South Carolina at least another opportunity with those timeouts to get a stop here and make this interesting at the end.
Quarterback keeper Pribula in trouble and tackled for a loss of 2 by Brian Thomas Jr., whose dad, Brian Sr., played 11 years in the NFL with the Jets. So 1 timeout left, 3rd down and 12. Robert Meyer replacing the injured Blake Craig. Harrison Mevis was so reliable as the kicker for Missouri. They thought Craig was going to be the guy who got hurt in the opener. So Meyer, the true freshman, his 2nd missed extra point of the season. That's why it's only a 6-point game right now. And because they're right at the 20-yard line, this is a tough one. They said if it's outside the 20, it'll be Oliver Robbins to kick the field goal. If it's inside, it'll be Robert Meyer. First question is, do you throw the ball here if you're Missouri and try to win the game with your offense on the field on 3rd and 12?
I expect they run the football in this spot, Dave. This has been the calling card for who they are. They've run it for 289 all night. I would expect they keep it on the ground here, and at the very least force South Carolina to use that final timeout.
Ahmad Hardy, 23 carries, 141 yards and a touchdown. Jamal Roberts, 12 carries, 73 yards and a touchdown. Bo Pribula, the quarterbacks, had a good day rushing, 72 yards. And he's also had a good day passing. Well, they let him throw it on 3rd down and 12 or force South Carolina to use a timeout. It's an end around and no running room for Kevin Coleman. He's tackled back at the 22 by Cisse. South Carolina will use its final timeout, and that field goal just got a little longer, and perhaps Missouri fans got a little more nervous.
And that's why I expected a run so they wouldn't have a negative play, but that's exactly what they get. You see Coleman back on the end around, and this is just an outstanding play by Cisse. Keeps this outside shoulder free, stays outside Tollison, goes low, gets the legs of Coleman, and gets a very important tackle for loss.
So it's going to be about a 40-yard field goal try. We would imagine it will be Oliver Robbins, his first field goal attempt. Well, he's got Robert Meyer out there. So again, he told us if it was inside the 20, it would be Meyer. If it was outside the 20, it would be Robbins. But Meyer did make a couple of short ones earlier. 22 and 23 yards. They're going to trust him here on a 40-yard attempt. Basically put the game away here with 1:39 to go. The true freshman from Colfax, California, to make it a 2-possession game. And the kick is perfect. What a moment for the true freshman. Just sealed the deal here in Columbia.
High pressure situation, and Robert Meyer is perfect. Good snap, good hold, and struck right down the middle. Never a doubt off the foot of Robert Meyer. What a moment for the young kicker.
And Missouri has outscored Lenore Sellers and South Carolina 11-0 here in the fourth quarter. And now it comes down to South Carolina needing 2 scores. So whether that's getting down the field quickly and trying a field goal or getting into the end zone, they're going to have to recover an onside kick and score again as well. They've got the drop kick artist, Connor Wesselman, out there to kick off as well. No timeouts left for South Carolina, trying to avoid an 0-2 starting conference play. Missouri trying to win its 14th straight at home. The next 2 games at home as well. UMass and Alabama. Their first road game isn't until mid-October at Auburn. Be their second quality win if they hang on. They also beat Kansas a couple weeks ago. They still have to play at Vanderbilt, at Oklahoma. They have A&M coming here. And we mentioned the Crimson Tide October 11th to wrap up that 6-game homestand to start a season. First time since 1985 a team has had 6 games in a row at home to start the year. There's the drop kick. It'll hit the ground and scooped up by Holman. And Holman all the way to the 40-yard line. So decent starting field position with 1:30 on the clock.
Lenore Sellers, he had gotten in a spot when he was playing great. He was 9 of 10 since that moment. 1 for his last 5 for just 3 yards. And on the last time we saw him with the football, on a big 3rd down situation, he had Dre Jacobs open and just missed. And he get this offense back in position to score and attempt an onside kick.
And again, there's nothing given with their kicking situation either. Obviously needing a touchdown or a field goal in this possession to keep themselves in the game. Sellers throws it underneath. Got to get out of bounds. And Jacobs did. Just slipping through an arm tackle to stop the clock after a gain of about 8. 1:21 to go.
So important for Jacobs to fight there at the end to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Four-man rush. Sellers again throws short, and it's dropped as Harbor turned upfield to run. Clock would have stopped after the catch and tackle. There is a flag.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 87. He was lined up on the line of scrimmage and covered up by a teammate. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
The mental errors have just been astounding by South Carolina. That's 13 penalties now for 95 yards. They have 95 penalty yards and -7 rushing yards. And ain't going to get it done.
Recipe for a disaster on the road against a team like Missouri.
On the crossing pattern. Got to get a first down for Jacobs or get out of bounds. He did neither. The clock is running. 1:08 and counting. It's 3rd down. South Carolina's got to go fast.
It's a good tackle by Trotter, but Jacobs has to get north and south and recognize he's got to get that first down.
55 seconds left. Sellers. And throws it out of play. Trying to sidearm it to Faison. Now it's 4th down. 52 seconds left. No timeout. South Carolina down 9.
Pressure coming in the face of Lenore Sellers, Zion Young, Chris McClellan. And it comes down to this.
And movement on the left side of the line by Josiah Thompson. Another mental mistake. Penalty number 14.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Look, Lenore Sellers was considered a Heisman candidate going into the season. Without a run game, all the mental errors as well. It's awfully hard to live this way.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. And Josiah Thompson just trying to get that good start on Damon Wilson, and another penalty for the Gamecocks.
Now Sellers is certainly good enough to pick this up, but he needs some help. He had a drop earlier by a receiver. And Harbor taken down well short of the line to gain. Missouri takes over on downs with 46 seconds left. And it's Josiah Trotter with the takedown.
But Josiah Trotter, just another one of these new Missouri Tigers that this staff was able to identify in the portal. And it's going to be Nick Harbor working across the middle. And Josiah Trotter, once again, with a quality open field tackle. Second one on this possession as he rallies up and takes Harbor to the ground. The head coach loves it. It's a tough, physical football team, and the Missouri Tigers, they believe in their running attack, their physicality along the line of scrimmage. They've made some nice additions on the defensive side, Dave. We've talked a lot about this schedule. This is a team to keep an eye on and watch for throughout the course of this season. And what Eli Drinkwitz is doing is pretty remarkable. The 14 now game winning streak they've got at home, what he's done since 2023. This is a program on the rise in Missouri.
25-5 in their last 30 games. 4th best record in college football. They've got UMass next. Then the Crimson Tide will come calling October 11th. Missouri improves to 4-0, winning its SEC opener. South Carolina, after being ranked number 11 just 9 days ago, is now 2-2 and 0-2 in conference play. Our final score, Missouri 29, South Carolina 20 for Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor, Dave Pasch saying so long from Columbia. Up next, Wyoming and Colorado as we send you to Boulder. Dave Fleming on the call.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.